The quality of your clients determines the quality of your work, and ultimately whether or not you stay in business. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Dante, and for the last 7 years, I've been running my own video production company. And along the way, I've learned something really important. Not all clients are created equal. Some can drain your energy and slow your growth, while others can completely transform your business. Today, I'm going to break down 3 types of clients that every freelancer or new business owner should know about. Once you understand them, you'll be able to spot who to avoid and who to double down on, so that your business has a solid foundation with plenty of room to grow. All right, first up is the revenue driver, also known as the whale. So a lot of businesses have one client that makes up a huge chunk of the work, maybe even the majority of their business. And for a lot of new business owners, having that whale is what turned their side hustle into a full-time job. They pay you large sums of money, and in exchange, you do large volumes of work for them. There's tremendous value in having a whale when you're starting out. They give you more top-line revenue than any other client. In a lot of cases, when you're starting out, they may give you more revenue than the rest of your clients combined. In short, your whale keeps the lights on and keeps the bills paid. Make sure you take good care of them. But having a whale comes with its own set of risks. Since so much of your revenue is coming from one source, you're extremely vulnerable. If you lose your whale, you could lose half your business or more overnight. And so while it's good to have a whale, you don't want your whale to be your only client. And because they're giving you so much business, there's a good chance that they're not your most profitable client. That sounds strange at first, but let me break it down. Even if you're not charging clients by the hour, which I don't, you can still determine how much money you're making from them per hour. It's a very simple math equation. Take the amount that they're paying you, your revenue, and divide that by the amount of time it takes you to complete the work. Then you have your effective hourly rate. And because your whale is giving you so much business, you might be giving them sort of a bulk discount. They might pay you the most, but they might not be the most profitable client. And this is okay. Now, the way to offset this problem of profitability is through client type number 2, the profit driver. A profit driver is a client that's giving you a lesser amount of work, but the work pays really well. In other words, you have a high profit margin. In my experience in the videography world, my profit drivers were often my corporate clients. They didn't need me that often, but when they did, the work was pretty easy. It was honestly boring as shit, but it came with a corporate budget. In other words, I could get the work done very fast in not that much time, and the pay was great. Basically, I couldn't afford to say no. So to go back to our little math equation from before, for your profit drivers, the revenue might not be as high, but the hours invested in the project are definitely lower, meaning that proportionally your hourly rate increases. These clients are extremely profitable, they don't take up too much of your time, and they boost your overall bottom line. The one notable downside of your profit driver is that they lack consistent volume. If they were giving you a consistent high volume of work, then they would just be an outstanding revenue driver. But because they're not giving you that much work, they're not as reliable. You pick up those gigs here and there, but they're not a consistent source of revenue. Basically, profit drivers are too valuable to turn away. Even if sometimes you don't love the work, it's always good to ask yourself, can I afford to turn this down? So between your revenue driver and your profit driver, you can have great margins today for your business. But if you're not actively opening doors for new clients, how can you expect your business to grow? This is where the third client type comes in, the force multiplier. All right, so a force multiplier is a client who's going to multiply your reach, your network, or your reputation. The benefits of working from them don't really come from the paycheck they send you, it's more indirect. They're gonna act as a springboard to propel you forward to reach new clients. All right, let's say that you're a videographer and you get a chance to work with the NBA to make a quick edit for the NBA playoffs. Even if the paycheck isn't huge, the real value here comes from the massive credibility boost that you would get from working with such an organization. Now on your website, you get to put the NBA logo on there, showing that a very serious company and organization entrusted you with their money. Now when people go to your website, they can see, oh, look, the NBA trusts this guy. He's clearly a professional, and he probably charges a lot of money. All right, here's another example. Let's say that you're a contractor and you do a renovation for the most respected and trusted real estate agent in town. Now, seeing as they also work with new homeowners, they have incredible access to a market that might need your services. And if they like the work that you did, they can act as a megaphone for your business. So basically, the benefits of the force multiplier is that they open doors for you. They create more and compounding opportunities for new business. They fuel long-term growth. In a lot of cases, they're aware of how powerful they can be for you, and so that ends up getting priced into the business. And because the pay isn't always great, they're not sustainable on their own. If you've got a dozen clients and all of them are force multipliers, you might not be in business long enough to meet the profit drivers and the revenue drivers. The truth is, you don't want to rely on just one type of client, whether it's the whale, the profit driver, or the force multiplier. What you want is a healthy mix, a little diversification. Having a whale gives your business stability and peace of mind. Having a profit driver allows you to take in more cash, and having a force multiplier allows you to collect these lottery tickets, and hopefully one of them is going to cash and lead to a bunch of new clients. But understanding these three client types is just one mental model for running your business. If you want more tools like this, go watch my video on the great mental models. It's helped hundreds of thousands of people reframe how they work and how they think. You can find it right here.